Kurt Tay, whose birth name is Tai Fu Wei, is a 42-year-old Singaporean lolcow, very infamous for being a superstar wannabe.
Hi everyone, I am undisputed WWE champion, the greatest of all time, Kurt Tay. You can see me.
你那边破鸡掰 ，fuck you 鸡掰 hater， 干你那边 ，you will make me lose my job again。
But we'll get to that. Let's start from the beginning. Kurt was an only child who grew up facing financial hardships. He was extensively bullied throughout his entire school career because of how different he was. He tried a couple of different courses after he finished school, but ended up dropping out. He did some jobs cleaning and as a dishwasher to support himself and his family. Kurt was interested in the entertainment industry, specifically singing and acting, but he never had the resources or means to achieve such things. In his life, he's done a lot of crazy things, like getting into a public fight, marrying a mail-order bride, and getting breast implants. Fasten your seatbelts, cause we're about to go in deep. Kurt Tay's first lolcow episode was when he became a contestant on Singapore Idol. He performed Thomas Haynes Bailey's long ago, but mispronounced the word long as nong, prompting people to call it the nong version of the song.
Tell me the tales that to me were so dear, long ago, long ago.
His audition was very memorable, but not for the right reasons, and of course, he did not move on to other rounds in the competition.
Long ago. Okay, thank you. That was very long version.
A few years later, on 2010, Kurt tried his hand at entrepreneurship and opened Forever Escort Massage Agency. He said he made thousands of dollars, but didn't last long because there was too much competition. Plus, he had a gambling problem. Fast forward 2 years, and now a 30 years old Kurt Tay tried to build a music career and made a professional music video. He invested in everything from product costs to advertising and even printed 5,000 CDs, which amounted to 20,000 Singaporean dollars or 15,000 USD. Up until this point, I have to be honest, Kurt had a lot of potential. He was clearly a hustler. He was ballsy. He wasn't scared to try and get what he wanted in life. Unfortunately, as we will all see soon, this train completely derailed. Back to the music career. In order to promote his new CD, he made an appearance in a program called Snap. As you can clearly see here, Kurt looked very motivated and hopeful. As luck, or rather bad luck would have it, he only managed to sell one CD, leaving him with 4,999 other CDs left in storage. Maybe the next civilization or aliens will find these CDs thousands of years in the future and think of Kurt like some sort of idol from our times? Who knows? Despite his failures, he tried one last thing before giving up on his music career. He went on a radio station. The hosts were making fun of him throughout the whole interview.
Sing me the songs I delighted to hear.
吴小猪，不要笑专业点。
Long ago, long ago。
从来没看过小猪这么开心。各位，谁讲我的英文烂？
Kurt was adamant about following his dreams and told the host that time would reveal his success. And while I respect the hell out of that, that wasn't the case. A year later, Kurt began a brand new arc and one of his most notorious ones. Enter the breast saga. Our man was going through a crisis. He couldn't find a woman. According to him, he tried to romance 100 women but failed every time, which led him to identify as bisexual. For some twisted reason, he had the brilliant idea to get breast implants to try and attract women? He basically pulled a chrischan here. Quick parentheses, for those of you who don't know who chrischan is, he is another lolcow that I will cover in a future video. Back to the main subject. So, he lied to his parents and borrowed thousands of dollars from them under the pretense that he would use it for his musical career, but instead he paid for the aforementioned breast implants. This absolutely devastated his mother. Kurt was completely ecstatic and went on YouTube to show his new appearance. As you can already imagine, people were having a field day with him, and the fact that he pronounced the word breasts as best didn't help one bit. Kurt continued to post videos on his YouTube channel about different topics and also show his food. He called himself Superstar Celebrity Kurt Tay and claimed he was a worldwide famous online personality. He couldn't edit his videos, so he would just post the whole thing. He posted over 12,000 videos in his channel over time. Not long after that, Mr. Superstar finally gave up on finding a partner, but for real this time, so he decided to try and get a mail order bride from Vietnam. He was rejected by families of 10 women because of his breast implants, but you know, as they say, the 11th time is the charm, and finally a woman named, I'm gonna try to pronounce this, but I apologize, Madame Kim Gon accepted him. They got married in Vietnam at a beautiful celebration with a lot of guests, which were actually part of the package. Soon after, problems started emerging with his new marriage. Kurt and his wife did not speak the same language, so they had to resort to using gestures and translation apps. Also, Kim was not happy with Kurt's YouTube channel, nor with him wearing makeup, nor with him wearing pink clothes. As we move up in the timeline, we have reached the year 2015. He's been married for 2 years now, he's got a job, things seem normal until the serpent slithered into Eden. 3 individuals started a harassment campaign against Kurt. They made flyers using his images advertising civil services. They were unhinged. They were spreading these flyers everywhere, including his workplace, and they even put them in his neighbors' mailboxes. It all started when Kurt's parents found one of these flyers in front of an elevator. These hoodlums distributed the flyers everywhere they could. They even wore masks to avoid being identified. Kurt and his parents tried removing the posters, but it got to a point where police had to be involved. 2 out of the 3 perpetrators were caught and charged. Aaron James Ang Jian Hyun was an IT consultant, and Royston Chua Wei Kwang was a sergeant at the military police. Ironic. They served 6 and 5 months in jail respectively. The third accomplice, only known as Chong, was never caught. A year later, Kurt finally removed his breast implants. Getting them had backfired colossally, and not only did all the harassment affect him and his parents, but it also put a strain on his marriage. He had worked 2 jobs for 2 years to save the money for the removal. He got the surgery in Thailand, and at long last, he put an end to that horrific saga. As one saga came to an end, another began. Let's call this one the wrestling saga. One thing to be noted here is that this saga is like a mother saga, which means there will be more sagas, but all under this wrestling saga. Sagaception. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. He became obsessed with the WWE, or World Wrestling Entertainment. Kurt wanted to be like The Rock and John Cena. He had a fake wrestling title belt that he carried almost everywhere, and for the rest of the remaining sagas, hence why I said it was a mother saga. In 2017, Kurt made his next big public appearance. This time as a participant in Sing China audition. He sang 3 times. The first time, the judges rang a bell for him to stop after only 6 seconds. The second time, he lasted for 9 seconds before the bell rang. Kurt was pissed and even asked the judges if he should carry on, to which they said yes. Most likely just to enjoy a good laugh at his expense. The last song lasted him 9 seconds yet again before it was over. One of the judges was kind to Kurt and actually gave him some advice to better his singing. As we all know, our boy doesn't give up so easily, so he actually tried again later and sang 3 more songs, but the result was the same, and the judges removed them from the competition.
好，评审老师已经决定了，3、2、1，请举牌。
OK， 谢谢。
谢谢参与，有请下位选手。
In 2019, Kurt would be given one of the biggest opportunities in his life. He was featured in commercials for a ramen shop, Takagi Ramen. These commercials were an absolute win for Kurt. He was kind of living his dream to a much smaller scale, but it still counts, right? Not long after, Kurt Tay found himself once again a victim of a troll. This man can't catch a break. Every time things are looking up, some troll has to come in and ruin everything. Taking advantage of Kurt's newfound success, an individual pranked him by pretending to be a TV station employee and setting up a fake interview. Kurt showed the WhatsApp screenshots of the conversation he had with the supposed head producer of MediaCorp's Channel 5. The impersonator had asked Kurt to be in a new comedy series and offer $1,000 for his appearance. When the day of shooting said comedy came, Tay showed up to MediaCorp just to be denied entry as they couldn't find his name anywhere on the registry. The impersonator then claimed it had been a mix-up and that the person they were really trying to contact was Kurt Tay. Kurt was infuriated by this and filed a police report. So did MediaCorp for impersonation of an employee. Seeing the seriousness of the situation they were in, the perpetrator started asking Tay for forgiveness and even explained they were a father to a newborn and they were facing financial troubles. Kurt didn't take any of it and demanded 500 Singaporean dollars as compensation for the whole thing. Fast forward to 2022 and we have a new mini saga, the street fight saga. Tay had agreed to confront one of his haters, Lo Jia Hong, while live streaming the whole thing on his YouTube channel. Lo presented Kurt with an indemnity form to waive liabilities for possible injuries. The papers were signed and then the brawl began. They punched and kicked each other, but unfortunately Kurt Tay's wrestling superstar powers were not working that day, so he ended up admitting defeat. Tay then went on an online forum making up excuses for his defeat, saying he was lacking practice while his opponent was well trained. As time went on, Kurt became 41 years old, and with age came a newly discovered fetish for him. Welcome to the BDSM saga. On March 15th, 2023, Kurt uploaded a video of himself watching a BDSM video while at work. At one point, one of his co-workers walked in on him, which made him panic for a second and stopped the video, only to resume after they left. In this video, Tay mentioned the name of a mistress, which sparked the curiosity of his viewers, whom went on full detective mode and found the same name on a picture Kurt had shared earlier. This made the mistress very angry, as she even hinted at taking legal action. Kurt Tay wanted to fix things so bad he was spamming voice messages apologizing to her. He even trended on TikTok for this. He said he didn't care about the consequences, he didn't care if it destroyed his marriage, and even offered $10,000 for her forgiveness, money that he most likely didn't even have.
My wife never say BDSM not allowed. Okay, she never say that.
In the end, the mistress told him to never talk to her again or risk legal repercussions. But that wasn't the end of Kurt's newly found depraved fixation. A few months later, while working as a security guard in a condominium, he filmed and uploaded a video of him saying inappropriate things about young females that lived there. He commented that he would be willing to pay $500 to each of these girls if they became his BDSM mistresses. This video was re-uploaded to TikTok by a troll that went by Kurt Maggie, and it went viral. The video reached Kurt's employer, who immediately fired him. Kurt Tay was furious at Kurt Maggie for making him lose his job.
Fuck you, 鸡掰 hater! 干你拿呗 You will make me lose my job again 超鸡掰干你拿呗啊 This is the second time You make 林北 lose my job You email to the company And make me 林北 lose my job干你拿呗 Fuck you
And if you think that was messed up, get ready for what's coming. This is so unbelievable, it sounds like something from a comedy movie, or something you'd see on South Park. A month later, Kurt wanted to participate in Hair for Hope, an event by the Children's Cancer Foundation to raise funds. He uploaded a video expressing his Buddha heart made him want to promote the event without any compensation, but then went on to say that the reason he wanted to attend was because of a fetish he had of watching women shave their heads as part of his BDSM fantasy. At this point, there is a clear pattern of self-sabotage. He comes up with a messed up idea, goes on social media to expose himself, and then when his evil cartoon villain plans are foiled, he gets angry. The event was made aware of said video and they promptly banned Kurt from ever participating. Despite some possible trolls writing to the event managers to uplift the band, it remained. Ladies and gentlemen, even when he is at rock bottom, he somehow manages to break through the floor like an excavator machine, going beyond rock bottom, and there was one last incident in this BDSM middle-age crisis fetish saga. On November 2023, Kurt was charged with distributing content on Telegram. People yelled at Kurt when he left his first court hearing. Tay had the audacity to go on YouTube and ask his viewers for money to help him on his court case. So far, those have been Kurt Tay's achievements in life. There are other miscellaneous mishaps that I didn't cover in this video because I didn't think they had a big impact. Like for example, Kurt participating in a Subaru car challenge while wearing his wrestling title belt, or the of his cat Cookie. I couldn't find much information about the cat incident, but apparently he abandoned it at some point. Anyways, Kurt Tay, a man with true potential, that started out with the right attitude but ended up becoming the laughingstock of the internet. There's nothing wrong with having big dreams and acting upon them, but keeping a realistic perspective grounded in reality could have made the difference between being an actual superstar or a lolcow. I salute all of you. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video.